Last time I went on an off-grid adventure, one small fault nearly ended the entire trip. So I decided to redesign my entire van kit. Safety equipment, recovery tools, spares, everything, so that wouldn't happen again. Here's what I carry and why. Before we start, none of this equipment is sponsored. I bought it all myself and built it up over time after having a couple of experiences that nearly caught me out. I like to stay self-contained and self-sufficient in my van, and so I'll take you through the safety equipment that I carry, the recovery equipment and tools that I carry, but also spares and miscellaneous kit that you might find useful. We're available, I'll put links in the description down below, so if you're interested in any of it, it will be available to you. This is my van safety kit, and to be honest, I'm still building it up. But in brief, we've got a fire safety stick, a fire blanket, my mobile phone, a first aid kit and a grab bag, an emergency hammer and a rechargeable torch. The fire safety stick lives under my sink, and it's a great alternative to a fire extinguisher. As you can see, it's small and compact, and it operates by removing the top, removing the striker from the bottom and striking the top. It only weighs 215 kilograms, yet it's got a discharge of 50 seconds, and it'll tackle fires of classifications A, B, C, electrical and F. So actually the only fire this can't tackle is class D, which is hot metal. That's a real great bit of kit, 15-year shelf life. I also carry a fire blanket. This is 1 meter by 1 meter and has glass fibre woven into it. The purpose of it is to throw over a fire so it cuts off the oxygen and smothers the fire out. I suppose it would be more important if you're in a van that is equipped with gas and you cook with gas. As I don't, I've only got electrical. I don't suppose I'll ever gonna use this, touch wood, but if I do, I've got it stored under the sink with the fire safety stick. Everybody's got a mobile phone, and this comprises a really important piece of safety kit when you're in your van. Modern iPhones are equipped with a direct SOS call function. You can hold down the volume button and the on-off button, and it'll bring that up straight away. In settings, you can also set to hold down those keys for 3 seconds, and it'll automatically call emergency services for you. A rechargeable torch. Always good to have a torch close to hand, up in the driver's compartment, because you never actually know when you're going to need that. Up in the driver's compartment, I carry an emergency hammer. If you've seen the YouTube videos out there about people attempting to smash side windows and windscreens without a tool, you can see it's almost impossible.
See if I can break it with my bare hands.
So with this, you can aim that towards the corner of your side windows and it'll shatter the glass quite easily, allowing you to render your escape. And it's also got a J-knife on the side there that you can cut through your seatbelt should you be in a position whereby you just can't get away from the seatbelt. So that's really good to have that close to hand in the driver's side pocket. And finally, I carry a first aid kit. This is a pretty much a standard first aid kit that you generally find in any household. I've augmented it slightly from my trips away and my expeditions in mountains, so it's got a bit more in it than the usual, but that forms part of my grab bag. My grab bag's got a larger first aid kit in it and various bits and pieces. I don't intend to go through that now, but suffice to say, if things get really dire, I've got enough bits and pieces in there to be able to grab that, get away from the vehicle and be self-sufficient for 28 to 48 hours. So this is a toolbox where I keep all my recovery equipment. I think it's absolutely imperative to carry some recovery equipment when you're going off-grid adventures. I have had a couple of instances this year where I've required some assistance to get out of some pretty dodgy parking areas. Nothing too extreme, just where I've pulled off a road, say, onto a grass verge, and it's been pretty wet. And then when I've come back from my activities and tried to get out, my wheels have been spinning. One particular instance recently, I went for an early morning run, went down to a local car park I know, and just pulled off the road onto a grass verge. But because it had been so wet, my wheels were just spinning when I tried to depart that location. I had to actually wait for somebody to come along to give me a push out, and I was there for about a good half an hour, 45 minutes, just waiting for somebody to come along. And I thought to myself, I don't want to be in that position again. So here's my first bit of recovery kit. This is a straightforward Tyre winch, which has got a ratchet on it that you can rig up with hooks front and rear in the rear of a recovery system to help you recover your vehicle. In the scenario I've just outlined, this would have been worth its weight in gold. This is rated at 4 tons with an aero steel cable, so it's not really for use for hardcore scenarios that you get off-road on 4x4 expeditions, but absolutely brilliant for just recovering your vehicle off, say, a really sodden wet grass verge, on a campsite or on a wild camping spot, and getting yourself back on the road. Pretty inexpensive and fundamental if you're out on your own and there's nobody around and you need to recover yourself. So the next pieces of recovery equipment I've got in this toolbox are tow ropes. Now I've got a couple of these in there. The winch is no use unless you've got tow ropes to anchor the winch off but also connect it to your vehicle. So I've got a couple of tow ropes here. I'll just open this one up. This one is 5 meters long and 10 ton rated. Comes in a little carry case, a couple of D shackles there, gloves to protect the hands, and then the recovery strop there. You can see the ends where the shackles would be connected, and it's 5 meters in length, so I won't wind it out, but suffice to say, rated to 10 tons, 5 meters in length, a couple of those. You can even double them up, so there should be no issues in connecting those up to the winch and to your vehicle if the situation deems self-recovery is required. In the recovery toolbox there are the two 5 meter 10 ton rated tow ropes or strops that I've just mentioned, but there might be instances where you want just a lightweight kinetic rope. So this is an AA 4 ton rated tow rope designed to be kinetic in nature, so you can just connect that onto one vehicle and then to the towing eye of your second vehicle, and as you can see, it's kinetic, so you can give a bit of a shunt onto the vehicle and get it moving and hopefully back onto the road. Now, it's all well and good having your winches, your tow ropes and kinetic ropes, but they're no use if you can't connect to the vehicle. Now, the Fiat Cato comes with a single threaded towing eye, and there's a cap on the front bumper that you can expose and screw that in. You can then clip your recovery ropes onto that towing eye. It also comes with a single rear recovery point, which is just to the right of my toolbox down there, that you can also clip to. But you'll find most vehicles will come with a towing eye in the equipment schedule, which is absolutely fundamental for you. So keep hold of that, you do require that. But there may be instances where D shackles are inappropriate to connect to those recovery points, or that you don't want to use them. So what I carry are a couple of soft shackles. Now, as you can see, these are made of rope with a protective cover in the middle, kind of like got a big knot on the end and a loop that you can push the knot through, and it self-tightens on itself once you're in the recovery position. Very strong, rated to 42,000 pounds, which is 42 metric tons, so really stronger than those galvanized recovery shackles. So really good pieces of kit. I carry a couple of those, gives me a lot more flexibility. Now, I'm conscious that I've just run through an amount of gear there and given no demonstration of how that's connected to the vehicle or how recovery would take place. If you want to see that type of thing, that'll be the subject of a separate video. Pop a comment down below and I'll do a video showing how I would do a recovery on the van. So once you've recovered your van, there might be a requirement to do a bit of repair or change a wheel, change a tyre. So what we've got here is we've got equipment that should come with your van. So you've got your standard jack, you've got a wheel brace arrangement to assist with jacking up the tyre and jacking up the wheel and getting the wheel off rather, and you've got an attachment then to access your spare wheel, which on the Ducato is under the rear of the vehicle. Now, in doing that, you might need some additional tools. So what you can see here is a master combined socket set, which is a really good piece of kit. 17 sockets fitting 46 bolts and nut sizes, and you've got AF and metric within there. So I make sure I always carry that, because you never know. So it is definitely the case in recovery situations that you should try and stay safe. So I carry certain items of PPE, so a set of gloves there, but also safe from other road users, highlighting them to the fact that there are issues. So I carry a collapsible warning triangle there, and then also the obligatory high-vis jacket, just to highlight that you're out and about doing things if you're close to a road, etc. And there could be instances then where you recover your vehicle, you could be in a remote location where you need to do some type of tyre repair. So I carry this Ranger Stalk tubeless tyre repair kit, which has strips in it that you're able to conduct some makeshift repairs, shall we say, till you're able to get to a proper tyre repair establishment. And that is, of course, if you want to go that route and you don't want to take the spare wheel from underneath the rear of the vehicle and swap your wheels out. And then finally, the last big ticket items within the toolbox I'll go through now. I always carry a litre of OEM recommended oil in case there are any automotive issues post-recovery. But I also carry KnockerBoost GBX 45. So this is a portable jump starter. It can develop a starting amperage of 1250 amps. So that's going to start some pretty heavy duty vehicles. And simply all you do is you place your connectors, your crocodile clip connectors, into the end there, connect them to your battery, press go, and hey presto, you're going to jump start your vehicle. It's a rechargeable unit and you can't physically connect it to the battery the wrong way around, so absolutely ideal. Really small unit, rechargeable, as I say, through USB-C, and can also operate as a power bank. Really, really good and essential piece of kit there. And then finally, should you require to do any work within the vehicle, we've got a rechargeable screwdriver set there with various bits, and then a bunch of drills. Hopefully never need to use them, but should you need any drills, they're there. There's also a bunch of miscellaneous items within the toolbox, such as duct tape, I've got some super glue, I've got some bungees, additional tyre kit for removing valves and the like. But that's all minor stuff. That's a pretty capable recovery kit and repair kit there. It doesn't contain everything. I'm still building it up. And if you think I've missed some stuff out, please pop comments down below, because it'd be really great to hear your thoughts. And for those who are really experienced in doing these things, to see what else I need to get into that recovery kit. But before you do that, I just want to show you my Etenwolf portable tyre inflator or air compressor. I almost forgot this. It's an awesome bit of kit, and it was on charge in the front of the vehicle, and that's why I nearly forgot it. I still keep it in its original packaging, even though I've had it for a while. And what you can see in there is a USB-C cable and charger, and a chuck for connecting to the tyre valve for inflation. Here's the unit itself, really good piece of kit. Has your air hose that you're going to connect to the vehicle there, or to the tyres. Has the ability with a hose on the rear here as well to do to inflate things such as inflatables, portable kayaks, etc. And if I press the start button here, you can see it's got a number of functions or modes that I can step through there, such as cars, SUVs, RVs, motorcycles, etc. It's got the ability to change the inflation pressure there through this rotatable dial, and you can also step between units, so you can have PSI, KPA and bar. So whatever you prefer operating in, you can do it there. It's got a battery charge indicator there, a 19,200 milliamp hour battery built in, so this is ready to go at any time I pull it from the box, and that can inflate a fair amount of tyres. It's fast inflation. I believe it does 5 PSI increments in about 1 minute, so that's really good. And I'll put a little clip up above where I re-inflated the van tyres yesterday evening. So really good bit of kit. It's got a 1000 lumen torch on the side there, which is really quite powerful, and 7 modes that you can step between, such as strobe and flash. A bunch of built-in adapters there for whatever tyres you have, and that's where you would recharge it through your USB-C, but also you could charge your mobile phone, etc. It operates a power bank there through a USB-C output there. So a really good piece of kit. I've used it in anger quite a few times. I love it because I find I don't now have to drive down to petrol stations and garages and pay £1 every time I want to inflate my tyres. I can just whip this out and I'm good to go. So we'll put that away, put that back into its carry case, and there we go. A highly recommended essential piece of kit that lives in my trunk or my boot, and should I get into any issues, I can always whip that out. So finally, I carry some electrical spares in my secondary toolbox here that I thought I'd just highlight to you. So we've got a digital multimeter there. We've got a bunch of sorted blade fuses and mini fuses in there. And we've got a whole bunch of electrical kit in here. I've got some 100 amp mega fuses in there, which I hardly expect to replace, but they can be of great use for diagnostic purposes. A bunch of miscellaneous electrical connectors and crimps, etc. And also some miscellaneous stuff such as plumber's tape and bits and pieces like that. And that all resides down there in this electrical toolbox. But then on the camping side as well, there's a 20-meter hose there for when I need to replenish my water, and an NCC approved 2.5mm squared 16 amp rated electrical hookup cable. I carry it with me. I have to say, in all my ownership of the van, I've never actually plugged that up. As you've seen in prior videos, my electrical system is quite capable, and I really have never ever had to hook up, because I either charge through solar or my DC to DC converter driving around. I hope you found that video of use. As I say, it's not an exhaustive list of equipment by any stretch of the imagination. For instance, I know I haven't got a jerry can in there, emergency lighting for breakdowns. I also don't carry recovery boards or levelling ramps. But what I seem to have satisfies 80% of real world scenarios at this moment in time. But as I say, drop some comments down below if you think I'm missing something fundamental that I should be carrying, and I'll be happy to look into that. Also, drop some comments down below if you want to see how I connect all that recovery gear up and demonstrate some type of recovery exercise. Finally, like, share and subscribe. Be sure not to miss any of the action. We're off to Morocco next week to climb Mount Tukul with a torn meniscus. Let's see if I can manage that.